Alright folks, here we are in Marathon, Florida after returning from the Bahamas, and the reason I'm sharing this video with you is because our weekly videos that we put out every week on Wednesdays, which is today. I hope you guys are enjoying today's video. It sure was a lot of fun making that video and just being over there in general. But you might notice that I'm a little dressed up. Why am I all dressed up, Keith?
Because you're getting ready to go do an interview.
Because I got to do a job interview, and the reason I got to do that job interview is because it's time to get serious and get back to work, make some money, and do a remodel on the boat. You know, but this is more of a debriefing of what happened in the Bahamas. Was it worth it? And how did the boat do and stuff like that. So going over to the Bahamas, you guys watched the first video. It's already been released because you're about a week behind on the Wednesday videos, is what it is. Because that's always, I usually pretty much all the stuff that I've done is up till that Sunday. So once you watch today's weekly video, you'll be up to like last Sunday is where you'll be. But anyway, getting ready for the Bahamas was a lot of work. Would you say? I mean, there's no question about it. The boat needed a bunch of work. It needs a bunch more work. And once we got going over to the Bahamas was very, very eye-opening. Just, like I always tell people, there's one thing being boating in the ditch, and then there's one thing of being out there in the open water, and then cutting through the Gulf Stream. That's the first time I've ever cut through the Gulf Stream before, and it was eye-opening, wasn't it, Chief? Yeah. It's really the weather conditions weren't perfect. But it was either go or don't go, and it's not that we had a schedule set that said, hey, we got to do this, but we also know that, our stop, every time we, and I'll talk about that here in a second.
But also, too, the
It wasn't the perfect weather window, but it wasn't a one. It just wasn't as nice as the one coming back, and I'll explain that again in a minute. So going over there, we get across the Gulf Stream, actually getting to the Gulf Stream and then over past the Gulf Stream wasn't bad at all.
No.
It's when we got on the other side of the Gulf Stream that all hell broke loose, and it wasn't even, but it was pretty rough out there. We were probably in 4 5.
Out of your comfort zone, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, you're just like, and it's just rolling, and it was just. And anyway, we got over to West End, and then the weather, we got held up there. And you saw in the video that we toured the island, which is pretty much toured all the big islands. Is pretty much what we did. We just rented a car and toured them. We wanted to see everything, as much as we could possibly see in the short time that we were over there. But one thing I can tell you, and the biggest surprise for me of the whole trip, was we fired up the water maker on this whole boat, and then how much I appreciated that when we got over to the Bahamas, because there's nothing over there. We found out very quickly, even if they do have water, it might not be working. And then if you don't need water, it was very expensive. It was, I think, what was it? At West End, it was $15 a day, right?
Yeah.
And then the last couple of days, it didn't even work. But you still pay it. It doesn't matter. So you either, when you check into a marina, we only checked into 2 marinas. I think it was Green Turtle and West End, Old Bahamas Marina. And it wasn't, they had water when we got there, but then after we got there, there was no water. The last 2 days, there was no water, and then there's no like showering. It's a weird. It's hard to explain to you, but it's weird because
Just remote.
yeah, it's remote. The wash machines either work or they don't work. The water either works or it doesn't work, and most of what we experienced, it didn't work. Even the wash machines were tough to deal with and do laundry and stuff like that. So having a wash machine on the boat, we ended up using the wash machine. We ended up using the water maker continuously throughout the trip. Matter of fact, we had 30 gallons of fresh water strapped to the front of the boat. We never even used it.
Yeah.
Because every time I started up the water maker, I would make 5-gallon freshwater pails, and then we just use that to rinse the boat off, rinse the dinghy off, and stuff like that. And you guys will see that in the videos upcoming. But I think just the remoteness of it, and then we did the Abacos, Great Sail, from going from West End to Great Sail. That's another thing we've seen, and it was definitely eye-opening, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You got to your boat's got to be in tip-top shape. Everything has to. You can't have any breakdowns over there. No mechanical issues or anything like that.
There's nobody to help you.
Yeah,
There's nothing there.
Yeah, the other cruisers could help you if you needed it.
Yeah.
But there's, as far as, like,
No mechanic shop you can pull to. There's no. You can barely get fuel down there.
yeah, and then it's that remoteness, and then the water. I mean, the dry Tortugas and the Keys. The water was clear, not in the Abacos. I think once we got over to the Bahamas, the water was clear, but in the Abacos themselves, and also, I don't say we were there in the perfect. I would go at a different time of year when it was a little less windy, because it seemed like a lot of wind, and that creates chop, which creates a little bit of a glaze in the water. But the Albacos weren't. I would say the Keys are almost as crystal clear as the.
Yeah. Now in the Keys, once you get offshore.
Yeah, offshore, not in like.
Not when you're on.
Like we're at right now. We're inside a Marathon, and just so anybody that knows, we've made it back, and we are at Marathon, and we're at Sombrero.
Okay.
Yeah, Sombrero Marina, and we paid for a month here, so this is the first time we've stayed in the last 90 days. This is the first time that we've stayed in a marina now for a month, where we're plugged in, air conditioners running and everything up. Before that, it's always been on the anchor, and then the few times we've been in a couple different marinas, but that's it the last 3 months, basically. And we've ran over, probably getting close to 2,000 miles. It's about, the whole trip, starting from Gulf Shores, all of the loop around the Bahamas and stuff like that, was pretty
Easily, yeah.
Yeah, we're getting out about 2,000 miles. And did somebody ask me today, I got a personal phone call from Steve. Steve, thank you so much for your support throughout the entire trip.
Yeah, thanks.
But did it increase my fuel mileage to adjust the valves on the engines? And I think it did, because I stick the tanks yesterday.
I see it yesterday or day before.
Yeah.
It
Yeah, it was yesterday.
was it yesterday?
Yeah, I stuck the tanks, the fuel tanks, and we were getting back. We were right at a little over a half, and then getting here, I think we were right under a half a tank. That's doing the entire Bahamas. We never took on any fuel in the Bahamas at all. We didn't get any diesel or any gasoline. And as a matter of fact, some of the people we were cruising with, we actually gave them gasoline, because we had brought weight. We didn't bring too much. I don't think you can bring too much of anything to the Bahamas. I mean, because you can even see in some of the weekly videos there, and if you're a patron, you got to see us go through the grocery stores and stuff like that. But it's there's nothing there. I mean, Freeport was probably the biggest city that we went into, and even that, if you think that that's we drove through it, and I remember Michael saying,
This can't be it.
yeah, he kept saying, this can't be this.
Now, don't get me wrong, there was a fast food restaurant there, maybe two, I think. I can't remember.
I think they were all there. There was was there a McDonald's?
I didn't see a
Burger
McDonald's,
King,
but that's it.
yeah.
There's one.
Yeah, and so there's not like Walmarts and movie theaters, and these people have really, there's not a lot.
Simple lives.
Very, very simple lives. The Bohemian people are probably some of the nicest people in the world.
I think so.
Yeah, it's like we pulled into a gas station, we got lost, and the lady says, well, you don't have internet. Well, we didn't have internet anywhere except while we were on the boat, and I gotta tell you guys that Starlink was phenomenal. Like, using Starlink the entire time, that's how we could talk on our phones, just like I had my phone in airplane mode the entire time, and just use Starlink on the boat to communicate with, and it worked freaking flawlessly the entire time.
Yeah.
Even when we were traveling in smooth water, it did okay. I mean, we lost it, and so you guys haven't seen the video yet, and you will not see this video until next Wednesday. But we did do it was about a 250-mile open ocean crossing. We just had an unbelievable weather window coming out of the backside of the Abacos and Little Harbor. And then we shot around, and then we had our outs. We had our places to go, but everything that I was looking for in the weather apps said it was all go.
Yeah, and the reason we did so many miles so quickly was because that was our weather window. We didn't really have a choice.
Yeah, because we planned on stopping in the Bahamas for 3 days and just hanging out, do some snorkeling trips.
Bimini and stuff.
Yeah, Bimini. Sorry, in Bimini, but it just didn't work out because Well, yeah, weather. The weather window was go, and we had already been in one weather situation that we didn't like. Hey, let's just get across and use the weather window. Because for us, Bimini is a really, like, we go over there anytime during summertime. We can take 3 or 4 days and just run over there and enjoy Bimini, even in this boat right here. Because Bimini's really close and really easy to get to, even right here from Marathon.
Yeah.
But it was really, really eye-opening, is, trying to take one of these old trawlers over there. I would say our fuel mileage on this trawler right here, like I told you guys, I still have right under a half a tank. That was running the entire Abaco Islands, which I would say is about a 225 mile run. And then the last time we got fuel was Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And then we never got fuel. We haven't got fuel since then, and we got well over a half a tank, or right under a half a tank of fuel right now on the main diesel engines, and that was using our generator too, and everything. So, but every system that we took over there, every system that we prepared for, had plenty of groceries, didn't we, Keith?
Yeah, we still. I'm not going to run to the grocery store.
Maybe get some blow pops, because I want my icy pops. He's telling me today, what can I get? Yes. He goes, well, the only thing we need on this boat is fresh spinach for the next probably still about a month's worth of supplies.
Yeah.
But again, when you get over there, there's nothing there. I mean, it's remote. And then it was so awesome catching that one good fish, which happened to be a yellowfin snapper, right?
Yeah.
That's what we figured it was. And my God, it tasted good. We were able to share it with some other people that we were with, and it was phenomenal, that fish. And finally catching one. We fished most of the way back from the Albacos. We didn't even get a bite.
Yeah, I think this is the first time we got skunk too.
Yeah, it was.
You're right, we didn't get nothing.
We didn't get nothing, and we had just a beautiful ride coming back from the Albacos in the open water, but we just didn't catch nothing. We should probably change the bait a little bit more and stuff like that, but we didn't catch. We were trying to, but we didn't catch a fish. And we always had, when we were in the open water, we always had a reel out and always fishing. And all of that, we caught lots of barracuda.
Yeah.
We got tons of barracuda. We would catch sometimes 2 to 3 barracudas a day. But they're just not eatable. I mean, some people do eat them, but we didn't feel like eating them. But the one fish that we did caught that we ate was really, really good. There's a lot to it, too. You got to check them for worms and all this stuff. And see, that's a whole other issue. But, this is just kind of a debriefing to let you guys know that we're back from the Bahamas, and we're going to both go get jobs. I'm going to go tomorrow to apply for a captain's position at one of the resorts. Pete already had a job lined up, so it's easy for him. He just has to come in. And you got to go meet him, though, right? And stuff. You still got one more day.
Thursday.
Thursday. That's tomorrow. Yeah, you got one more day of orientation, and then I have an interview for tomorrow for a captain's position for a little shuttle boat that runs to and from a resort that is only accessible by water. So that's why I gotta get all gussied up.
Gussied up.
Get all gussied up and ready to go. But anyway, we will go back now that we've done the Albacos. We will probably go back and do the other side over there. And explore more of the Bahamas, but I would say almost I could this is probably going to be a 2-year reset, and the only reason I'm saying that is because the remodel on the boat will take that long because it needs a bottom job now. The upper deck needs to be painted. We're probably going to but by the time it goes back out again on another cruise, it'll be another probably well over $50,000 remodel on the boat. Because next time I'm gonna go out with better electronics. We lost our radar. We didn't lose it, thank God, because we needed it for that one night
run.
Yeah, the one night run, and it was
it did its job.
It did its job, and we're glad we had it. But the screen is starting to fail on it, and
it's just old.
It's old, and it needs to be replaced. So the boat needs new electronics, and we're gonna put new air conditioning here in the salon. I think we're going to do some painting. We're going to rip out all of the cabinets inside,
update it,
and just update it, make it a more modern yacht.
Yeah.
And then probably by the time it's all done, I think the hull will be painted, the superstructure will be painted, the outside of the flybridge will be painted. I think we're going to repaint end up repainting the entire boat, and then and do some inside modernization and some upgrades. And it's not cheap. It's going to cost a lot of money to do it. So that's what. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the Bahamas. Enjoy the refit as we do it, and then I'm going to keep up videos as just our life living on the boat, just like we always have. And then the Mondays and Mondays and Friday videos. Those will be just more of. I really want to break down in the next probably 4 or 5 videos of each piece, what it did and how it did, and did it go well or did it go bad. And you guys were like the bicycle, the screw thing, what we used for electronics, stuff like that. Because I heard rumors of people telling me, and weather apps, that Navionics is no good in the Bahamas, but that's not true. That's all I used.
No, it worked perfect.
Yeah, it was accurate all the way, and we didn't have any problem at all with navigating. Even though I was using 3 different things. I was using Garmin, I was using Navionics, and I was using the other one that I use, which is I can't think of it right now. Yeah. Anyway, I'll do a video on one of my Friday or Monday videos and break it down to you what we used and how we used it and stuff like that. But I want to go through each piece in depth of what we did and how all that worked out for the Bahamas. Because especially for you guys planning it, or even a year or 2 away from doing the Bahamas, you got to be Boy Scout prepared. I mean, it's Al Kareem and like our favorite Captain Ron movie. You got to be ready. You got to be over there. You got to be prepared. Pete said,
got to be able to fix stuff too.
Yeah,
a couple issues.
Didn't you say you saw on Facebook there? Hey, I need an outboard mechanic. I need this. I need that.
I saw the other day. I'm looking at the thing, and everybody needs something over there. I'm like, it's too late. I don't want to say anything because I don't want to be negative, but once you're over there, maybe in Bimini there might be some way to get something done. But once you're over there,
well, Freeport, Bimini, and Nassau would be your 3 big ones.
Yeah, but we were in.
We just stayed out pretty much remote locations.
Yeah,
and there wasn't nothing.
There's nothing. There's no help. I fell, and there's no hope. I mean, no hope, no help. You're done. You can't even. I don't think you can call the Coast Guard out there in the Bahamas.
Yeah, I don't think you can.
And we're out of in another country. And their whole population. The Bahamas, believe it or not, is huge. It's not small. There's a million islands out there, but there's only the whole Bahamian population is less than, I think it's around 400,000 people. Period. That's it.
Yeah, and so and most of them live in Nassau.
Yeah.
Nassau, Freeport, and Bimini. Those are your 3 big ones.
Yeah.
And so, but it's really remote, and it's really it's sad and it's fun too. In a different kind of way, because you really see some of the poorest conditions that you can probably live in, but they're probably some of the happiest people too.
Yeah, they're all really nice, real happy people, real nice. Yeah, I loved all my experiences with the Bahamian people.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys, let you guys know we made it safely back to Marathon, and what's going on and stuff like that live. And I'll do what I plan on doing now is I'll start scheduling a couple of we'll get back on a routine and a schedule, and I'll do some of these lives for the net, because I think some people were enjoying the net here, the Marathon net. As long as we're here, I'll pick a day or 2 a week, and I'll do a live net for you guys, so that you can just wake up in the morning and it's something to look forward to. Anyway, peace out. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe, share it with your friends, and we do appreciate all the support on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, all of it. Thank you guys so much. We do appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.